Hungary made it clear from the first moment that we will stand up in favor of Israel's sovereignty, its right to self-defense, and the rights of its citizens.
You support Israel proudly, unstintedly. You stand with us at the EU. You stand with us at the UN.
I signed just recently the document stating our withdrawal from the ICC because Hungary and the Hungarian government decided that we shall withdraw from the International Criminal Court.
And you've just taken a bold and principled position on the ICC, and I thank you, Viktor. This is not only important for us, it's important for all democracies. Corrupt organization that has equated a democracy that is challenged for its very existence by the most horrific terroristic powers on earth. But the ICC directs its actions against us, fighting a just war with just means, and of course not against our tormentors, not really.
Hungary leaving the International Criminal Court is a bold and principled decision, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said during a visit to Budapest. Netanyahu made the trip to Hungary in defiance of an ICC arrest warrant against him over allegations of war crimes in Gaza. Israel has rejected the accusations, which it says are politically motivated and fueled by anti-Semitism. It says the ICC has lost all legitimacy by issuing warrants against a democratically elected leader of a country exercising the right of self-defense. Netanyahu thanked Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in a joint press briefing after their bilateral meeting. Hungary decided to quit the ICC because it has become political, as its decisions on issuing an ICC arrest warrant against Netanyahu showed, Orban said in his statement to the press. Netanyahu has enjoyed strong support over the years from Hungary's Orban, an important ally who has been ready to block EU statements or actions critical of Israel in the past.
Dear Mr. Prime Minister, may I extend my most cordial welcome to you here in front of the public after 8 years. Last time in Budapest we met 8 years ago, and I visited your country in 2021 for the last time so far. And the world has changed immensely since then. Entire global security is facing serious threats, and one of the most serious examples of that is what your country, Israel, suffered 18 months ago, 1.5 years ago. A cruel and serious attack stomping sovereignty of Israel, which had a huge impact on the entire world, therefore Hungary as well. Hungary made it clear from the first moment that we will stand up in favor of Israel's sovereignty, its right to self-defense, and the rights of its citizens, and we have represented this position everywhere since then in world politics. So I wish you a lot of success, Mr. Prime Minister, and to the government of Israel to establish the security of your own people and to assume your right for self-defense. Distinguished Mr. Prime Minister, there have been changes occurring in Hungary as well, mainly in the European Union. Hungary in the past years has been an island of freedom in Europe, and we have been banner bearers of the Judeo-Christian civilization. I'm telling the press now that the Hungarian Jewish community, counting its headcount, as the third largest Jewish community in Europe. And I think it is safe to say that they are now the most secure and safe in Europe. What we have discussed today and shall continue to discuss is the phenomenon that surprised us, that surprised all of us in the past decade, namely that in Western Europe, anti-Semitism has reached a level never before seen. As you know full well, no Hamas flags have been waved in Hungary so far, and they shall not do so in the future. There is zero tolerance in Hungary, in our homeland, against anti-Semitism, and we shall do everything in our power to assure that we shall protect all of our citizens, and we pay special attention to the groups that are in highlighted dangers, and the Jewish community is endangered everywhere in the world. And therefore, I would like to assure you, as I did during the course of our negotiations, that Hungary provides no tolerance towards anti-Semitism. There is zero tolerance, in fact, against anti-Semitism. And once again, I would like to reiterate that we are not happy that we have to say this today, but the situation is that in the whole of Europe, amongst all the Jewish communities in Europe, the one in Hungary can feel the most secure. The Prime Minister and I also discussed the following. Anti-Semitism is imported to Western Europe. Illegal migration necessarily contributes to the increase of anti-Semitism. The Brussels elite does not want to and cannot stop that. Illegal migration they do not wish to stop but manage. However, Hungary will not accept any type of migration, and we will not allow any European migration agreement to be approved here in Hungary, because this would endanger the security of all citizens here in Hungary, and it is also an issue of sovereignty in our case. There is also common interest between the two countries, ladies and gentlemen. We are interested not only due to our values, but due to our national interest in the fact that Israel be a secure and safe country, and that it remains a stable country. A stable Israel is the key to the stability in the Middle East, and Mr. Prime Minister can always count on us in that matter. I must also mention bilateral relations, since we touched upon them. Israel is a significant investor in Hungary. There are 150 businesses Israeli businesses in Hungary providing jobs for thousands of people. These are valuable investments, not only due to their volume, but also due to their quality, because they are present in pharmaceutics and in the high-tech sectors. The Hungarian and Israeli business community cooperates very well together, and we have high hopes of this cooperation to continue. Our cooperation actually encompasses one of the most important and sensitive issues, and that is military security cooperation. We have purchased multiple technologies from Israel and incorporated it into the Hungarian military, and we shall continue that cooperation in the future. Hungarian exports to Israel, something that is important to us. We are very happy that there are no obstacles from Israel to the Hungarian exports to the country. Thank you very much for that. And finally, I have to touch upon one of the most current issues. This is the changes in the system of the International Criminal Court. And the international courts, and primarily the International Criminal Court. I am actually an expert when it comes to this matter, distinguished Mr. Prime Minister. It's a short story because it's a Hungarian story, but it was important to us. I was the Prime Minister, actually, who signed our accession document to the International Criminal Court in 2000. And I signed just recently the document stating our withdrawal from the ICC, because Hungary and the Hungarian government decided that we shall withdraw from the International Criminal Court. The reason being that we are convinced that this has become a political court. In the past years, this is not a court of the rule of law, it's a political court. It is not unbiased, and this was clearly shown, most clearly shown by the decisions related to Israel. And I do believe that an international court motivated by political intentions cannot have Hungary participating in any country that deems democracy as important. And I do believe that this otherwise very important court was diminished into a political forum, and we do not wish to have any parts in it in the upcoming periods. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade will submit the concerning bill into or before Parliament, and we shall withdraw from the Statutes of Rome. Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to reiterate our best wishes. We cordially welcome you not only on behalf of the government of Hungary, but the people of Hungary. Thank you for coming and visiting us. We thank you for the friendship that the State of Israel has displayed towards Hungary in recent years. We would like to thank you for the cooperation in the international arena, and we'd like to thank you for the support that you provide for the Jewish community living here in Hungary. And we are proud of the fact that the Jewish community in Hungary, which has a very difficult historical past, today can not only feel at home in Hungary, but it can also regard itself as a valuable community, just as we regard it as a very valuable community. Therefore, your visit is not only a visit which is politically important, as displayed by the interest from the press, but a very important personal, spiritual, if you like, civilizational visit. And I'd like to confirm that Israel can count on Hungary in the future as the impenetrable European bastion of the Judeo-Christian culture. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
And I invite Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, to make his statement.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, Viktor. This is a very moving day for me. I remembered on the flight here that I came here in 1991 as a Deputy Foreign Minister of Israel to reestablish the relations between Hungary and Israel. I didn't know very much about Hungary at the time. I knew Puskás, Guláš, Zsa Gabor, and some knowledge of Hungarian history, your struggles. You had exited the ravages of World War II, only to be under a new type of occupation. And it took you many decades to liberate yourself and establish Hungary as an independent country. So that offered some similarity to our travails, which were on a different scale. A third of our people were murdered in World War II, in the Holocaust. We had to overcome great odds to reestablish our sovereignty in our ancient homeland. And it was a question of time when these two histories would meet and begin the great alliance that is now developed. You have, in your leadership, have done remarkable things for Israel and the Jewish people. You support Israel proudly, unstintedly. You stand with us at the EU. You stand with us at the UN. And you've just taken a bold and principled position on the ICC, and I thank you, Viktor. This is not only important for us, it's important for all democracies. It's important to stand up to this corrupt organization that has equated a democracy that is challenged for its very existence by the most horrific terroristic powers on earth. But the ICC directs its actions against us, fighting a just war with just means, and of course not against our tormentors, not really. This is important for all of us, for all of civilization, as we fight this battle against barbarism. And you are the first, I dare to say, I don't think the last, but the first state that walks out of this this corruption and this rottenness. And I think it'll be deeply appreciated not only in Israel, but in many, many countries around the world. You've taken a very bold stance against anti-Semitism that has reared its head, as you said, in Europe. You don't allow it, you don't tolerate it. You recognize that anti-Semitism today is masked by the guise of anti-Zionism. You adopted the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, which says that if you're against the Jewish state, you're anti-Semitic. You can't say, well, I'm not against Hungarians, I just don't think there should be a Hungary. I'm not against Jews, I just don't think there should be a Jewish state. That's what these anti-Semites are doing. And without a Jewish state, there's no Jewish people. So your position on anti-Semitism, both inside Hungary and outside Hungary, is one that others should adopt as well. You treat the Jewish community, as you said, in an exemplary fashion, and you seek to provide it not only with its security, but also the ability to conduct Jewish life here in the best possible way. Perhaps some of our Israeli guests here don't know, but Hungary also takes care today of Israel's football teams because they have to practice somewhere. They have to play outside. Hungary enables them to play here, and so other sports as well. And this is all a sign of a deep friendship, a deep alliance that has evolved. I can say that it's turning, as you say, into also an alliance in practical matters. Tourism, many Israelis are coming here. Investments, many Israeli business people are coming here. They like Hungary. They like Budapest. Who cannot? But they also, you also see it in the, of course, in the cooperation on technology, defense matters, which is growing, and it's important, and in many other fields. But I would say that our cooperation goes deeper than that because I believe we are fighting a similar battle for the future of our common civilization. Our Judeo-Christian civilization, Western civilization as we understand it, it's under assault right now for one powerful quarter, and that's radical Islam. Radical Islam in the Middle East is spearheaded by one country, that's Iran. It has proxies, the three H's, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and others. But the center, the pulsating engine is Iran. We were attacked by Iran's proxies in a murderous campaign by Hamas terrorists who raped our women, beheaded our men, burnt our babies, and took hostages. Were committed to bring back home all of them, including a hostage of Hungarian citizenship, Omri. We discussed this. We'll bring them back all home. But we will smash the Iranian axis, the Iranian terror axis, which threatens not only us, but Europe and many of our neighbors in the Middle East. We're committed to doing so. And by doing that, we're also protecting Europe. Maybe there are some in Europe who don't understand this, but Viktor Orban understands this. He understands this common battle for our values, for our interests, and for our common security. And I want to thank you for that. There are many areas for future cooperation. We'll discuss them later today. We have already begun to do so. But I discovered that my knowledge of Hungary, though increasing, is still deficient. Because on the way over here, Prime Minister Orban told me that in this hall, in this very hall, Beethoven played the piano. I didn't know that. I'd like to challenge any one of the Israelis who are here, if they knew that, and if they would, you get extra bonus points. But it tells you what a rich tapestry of culture Hungary offers. We in Israel, the Jewish people, have a rich tapestry of culture. And this partnership, this friendship today is unparalleled. May it grow even further. May it grow even stronger. Thank you, my friend Viktor.